I think it comes down to a lot of people. They have this cognitive dissonance. They don't want to believe that the world is struggling. They don't want to believe that these bad things are happening. The climate crisis, which is just always a good time, isn't it? It's always a good time. But that's the thing, is you need to face it because it's hard. We need to talk about it because it is the reality. We need to talk about it because it is the world in which we live, and it's actually an exciting time to be alive, because we're at a fork in the road, and we are making a major choice here as to where we go, as to where we're headed, as to where this world will end up in 50 or 100 years. This is it. This is the fight, man, and it is exciting to be at the front of it. And other times I also shit myself, but for the most part, woo! That's what I'm saying. But this is an important time to be alive, and I'd rather be alive during important times than boring times. But so this is from Professor Elliot Jacobson, the 7 hottest days on Earth in the past 100,000 years. And he then links to a Forbes article. So if you want to see the original article of this, you go to Forbes. Have all happened in the last week. And he then gives the degrees, which, might not mean much to most of us. July 6, 17.2 degrees Celsius, 63 degrees Fahrenheit. And then he goes to the rest of the degrees. Now, some of you may be going, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, that's not bad at all. That's not 100 degrees. This is the global average, asshole. This is hotter than it's been in 100,000 years. And it's the 7 hottest ever days in the past 100,000 years have all just happened in the past week. How is that? How are you not furious over that? And instead, we have people that want to deny this. They want to, and it's kind of a childish, it's a childish mindset. It is the mindset of, I don't like this thing, so let me just give in to whatever says it's not happening. And there's the folks that say it's not real. There's the folks that say it's real, but it's cool. It's fine. It's like, it's nice and warm, baby. It's nice. I like it. There's the people that say it's all lies. But here's the thing. There's so many ways to debunk all of that, to show you how wrong you are. There's a nice buffet of ways to show you that you are incorrect, that this isn't an existential crisis. And, that you could point to the 99.7% of all peer-reviewed scientific articles that reference that have to do with climate change all say it's happening. 99.7% of peer-reviewed articles. Now, you can find other articles by quote-unquote scientists who say other things, but their bank account is bursting full of big oil money. Here's another article. Earth reaches the hottest day ever recorded 4 days in a row. That's basically what I just said to you, but they're saying it in a different way. That's from ABC News. These are not tiny independent outlets. You actually get a little bit of coverage from the mainstream outlets. However, they don't want to tell you the truth that we all need to fight right now to change our society in a very large way. This is a crisis of monumental proportions, and, exciting time to be alive. Let's have fun with revolution. Let's have fun with revolutionary thought. Let's have fun while we're interrupting the business as usual of the ruling elite, of your Congress people, of those businesses, of those Harvard professors that support this stuff. And I have shown videos from Climate Defiance doing exactly that recently. However, here is some good news. This is a map of the sea surface temperature from the University of Miami. This is the sea outside of Florida. It shows incredibly hot, almost hot tub hot ocean water. And the professor from University of Miami said, I'm not sure I've ever seen the water off Florida look like this at any time of year. So this is, and you notice I said this is good news because it's like a hot tub in the ocean. I mean, if we're gonna go, wouldn't you want to go via hot tub ocean? Woo! The oceans are hot tubs now. This is wonderful. This is tops are optional. Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. Tops optional. So the oceans are heating up in a very large way, and our leaders are doing nothing about this. And people like to point to some of the stuff that certain leaders are doing, quote unquote leaders, the billionaires that run things, the World Economic Forum assholes, those types of people are saying, oh yeah, there's climate crisis, climate change, and therefore we need to increase surveillance of everyone, or therefore we need to do A, B, and C. And guess what? Both can be true. It's called the shock doctrine. They wait for a disaster, a crisis, whatever to happen, whether it be this, whether it be Hurricane Katrina, and they use these moments in order to put forward their policies. So it doesn't mean climate crisis isn't real, even if they're doing something shitty, super shitty with it. So the idea that you would go with big oil's thinking, oh, big oil, which has funded denialism of climate crisis for goddamn 60 years. Literally, they first knew about it in like the 50s, at least accurately knew about it in the 50s. They knew CO2 was a greenhouse gas way before that, but they only accurately started to know about climate change and climate crisis in the 50s, 60s, 70s. And they actually internally were talking about it and saying, should we do something about this? We need to switch off of oil and that kind of thing. But of course, externally, to us, they were saying, oh, no, it's all fake. It doesn't matter. It's not real. It's not. Oh, the lunatics say that thing. And so the idea that you would now jump to the thinking of big oil and big banks and weapons contractors and everyone else, you're going to join them. All of a sudden, you are on the side of big oil and big banks. And again, I think it comes down to a lot of people. They have this cognitive dissonance. They don't want to believe that the world is struggling. They don't want to believe that these bad things are happening. And so anyone who says it's not happening suddenly seems really correct. Hey, that person just told me that there's not a serial murderer running around our neighborhood killing everyone, even though we've watched him kill 3 people in the past hour. But this guy says it's not happening. So I'm trusting that guy because that sounds great. This not happening would be like so much better than what it seems like. And then I just wanted to show you this political cartoon, which is pretty brilliant. For those of you listening to the podcast version of this, which by the way, everybody is on Spotify. It's called the leecamp Show. I had to rename it because they banned my last one. But it's also on other ones called Moment of Clarity, even though I've now changed the name to Dangerous Ideas, but we'll keep calling the podcast Moment of Clarity. But this is a political cartoon from Ryber Hansen showing us right now. And it shows Noah's Ark on dry land, basically before the flood. And rather than putting animals and everything into the Ark, they're filling it with cars, automobiles, because the point is that we're trying to save our way of life at the expense of the earth and life on earth. But of course, if we kill life on earth, we won't be around to use any cars. There might be some nice cars around. There might be some nice cars, some hot new Teslas sitting around everywhere, even as we're not alive to drive them. Yeah, that's what I want to explain to people is like, you realize that by pushing all this denialism and this bullshit about it's not happening, it doesn't stop it from happening, right? It's still, because there are a lot of people, especially like the neoliberals, especially the Bidens and stuff, that know that climate crisis is happening. They just want you to think they've got it. They're going to fix it while they do nothing. They're going to fix it while they open more land to drilling. They're going to fix it while they frack more than ever before. Those fracking assholes. That's what they want you to believe. And the truth is, of course, the opposite. They're doing essentially nothing, borderline nothing, to change the situation. And and so some of them know it's happening and yet deny it to you. And others are willing to just believe the first oil funded scientist that walks along and goes, well, actually, CO2 is good for trees. And you go, oh, really? This level of CO2? No, absolutely not this level of CO2. But just in general, trees like CO2, even as we cut down all the trees. So there's kind of those two types of people. I don't know which is worse. I mean, I guess maybe the ones that understand that this is absolutely happening, they're kind of the worst.